A Politico Morning Consult poll just found that 27% of registered voters believe Donald Trump is religious. That means a few things. 27% of voters are very, very gullible people. Also, that means a lot of Trump's own supporters don't even buy into his stupid photo ops. But I think this poll is worth talking about for a couple of other reasons. First, white evangelicals have been selling this myth for years that Trump is one of them. Sure, he doesn't act like it. Sure, his life history has no evidence of it. But really, if you just look past the 2 divorces, bragging about grabbing women by the pussy, paying off the porn star he had an affair with when his 3rd wife gave birth to his 5th child, the whole 2 Corinthians thing, how he said he never asks God for forgiveness, the fact that he said both when he was asked if he was an Old Testament or New Testament guy, how he can't name a single Bible verse, much less his favorite one, the racism, the sexism, the bigotry, the ignorance, the embrace of white nationalism, the utter contempt for everyone who doesn't worship him, and how he never goes to church because he's too busy trolling people on Twitter. Besides all that, he is just like them. My favorite example of this was before the 2016 elections when James Dobson, the founder of Focus on the Family, went so far as to say he knew Trump had accepted Jesus and was now a baby Christian. He was half right. If you break down the poll numbers, the more conservative and Christian you are, the more likely you are to think Trump is religious, including 40% of all evangelicals. Imagine how awful your religion must be that you could look at this president and say with pride, yeah, he's one of us. I want to make this clear too. He may not be religious, even if he's technically Presbyterian on paper, but he is not an atheist either. And I have heard people make that argument in response to people saying he's religious. Those people are wrong. Not because I would personally be ashamed if Trump were an atheist, though I would be, but because I think that word has to involve actively rejecting a belief in God. You have to at least take that step to be an atheist. Your dog is not an atheist because your dog doesn't think about religion. A newborn baby is not an atheist because a newborn baby doesn't think about religion. And Donald Trump is not an atheist because Donald Trump doesn't think. Atheism isn't some default catch-all term for people who avoid theology entirely. It's not synonymous with apathy. Seriously, fight me on this. Let's go. But I agree, Trump's not really religious. To Trump, religion is nothing more than a marketing tool. It's one of many ways he manipulates people. I will give him that much. He knows if he just says some magic words, there are conservative Christians who will let all of his flaws and cruelty slide. Look, you can't believe in God when you think you are God. But he was able to dupe enough Christians into voting for him once, so it's a charade he doesn't mind keeping up by doing things like surrounding himself with a group of evangelical advisors who care more about access to power than anything biblical. Or by holding up a Bible upside down outside a church he doesn't attend, which he got to by having police throw tear gas at people he doesn't like. Just like Jesus. So count me in with the 55% of voters who somewhat or strongly disagrees with the notion that Trump is religious. It doesn't mean he's godless. It means he doesn't give a damn. Not about Jesus, not about the country, and definitely not about you. I only hope that some religious people who recognize the game he's playing will realize that Trump isn't interested in their beliefs, and that continuing to support him will only drag their religion down with him. Maybe the most ironic thing about this is that most Americans don't think Trump is religious, but his name has become intertwined with evangelical Christianity. So even when Trump is out of office, Evangelicals will have to deal with the stain of his reputation for generations to come. They made their bed. They chose to lie with him. Literally. And unlike Trump, they will eventually have to take responsibility for their actions. So hey, I guess something good will come out of this presidency.